right, y'all, headed out for the first weekend long run post-COVID. Long-ish run, shooting for right around 10 miles just to see how everything holds up. But this week's run, 2 6-milers went pretty well. Can definitely tell that I'm still tiring out a lot more quickly, but that could also just be from the time off from running. So gonna go out for the run, take you along for the ride, hope everything goes well. Also hoping I have more success with the GoPro battery. My last run that was a little chilly, the GoPro kept shutting off. Did some looking around online and it sounds like it was probably a temperature thing when the battery just gets too cold and can't run fast enough to keep the camera on. Hoping that I don't run into that issue. I brought a sock along to see if that can insulate it when I'm not using the camera and maybe help. But if you have any tips, because it could get somewhat chilly in Texas overnight, depending on the weather for Rocky Raccoon. So if you have any tips or tricks, let me know in the comments below. All right, we're halfway in, 5 miles into the run. As has been the case, I think, with all of the runs that I go hesitantly into, feeling much better than expected. Legs are feeling good. Cardio is actually feeling really, really good on this run, so that's what I am most excited about. But just kind of taking a quick walk break, just enjoying the moment, enjoying the run, not trying to rush through the workout, but just get back to enjoying the process. I think will be a huge step, not just for this race, but the rest of the races I have coming up this year. Run and done. Hopefully the wind's not too bad. But the second half of the run honestly almost went better than the first, just in terms of physically still feeling pretty good. Legs are definitely a little tired. I also did some strength work yesterday, so I think that's probably part of it. But the most exciting part, cardio kept in check, like hovering around 150 throughout the entire run. I was even closer to a 10-minute mile, so really, really excited to see those numbers. Great run altogether, and now let's pop inside to talk about dry January.
Cheers, y'all, and happy Dry January 2023. I know we are already well into January at this point, but don't worry, although I am late on getting this video put together, I have been on the Dry January train since January 1st, had the champagne toast at midnight on New Year's, no drinks since, so enjoying Dry January and looking forward to another successful year. For those of you who aren't aware, I do Dry January every year. I think this is my 6th year participating in the challenge. I started back in 2018. I can't remember if I took a year off somewhere in there. It's possible. But basically, I really enjoyed the idea of the Dry January challenge. It started as a way for me to break some old habits back in 2018, but has continued to grow and develop each year, where I kind of keep that initial goal of just obviously going dry, going sober for the month of January, but also adding in some other challenges as well to hopefully help build new habits. So for me, the month of January is all about habits, breaking old ones and building new ones for the new year. So really excited for this year's challenge. I'm going to go through kind of my goals, my separate challenges. And if you followed along for last year's, you'll know that I follow the model. Thanks. Shout out to the Thirst for Knowledge podcast guys. They do the Dry January challenge every year, and I really enjoyed their model of kind of creating challenges in different facets of your health for the month of January. So that's what I'll be doing this year, following that same model where you have obviously the overall sobriety, but then you set a physical, like a strength-based goal for yourself, or just a physical health goal for yourself, a nutritional goal for yourself, and then also a mental or spiritual goal for yourself as well. So those are the areas that I'm going to be focusing on, and just wanted to touch on my goals within each for this video. But I wanted to start off with the sobriety piece for this year's Dry January, because in addition to abstaining from alcohol for this month, I have also decided to add coffee to that list, mostly because I don't necessarily think I have an issue with coffee intake. I've known for a while I do drink a substantial amount, I would say, each morning, and I do feel like as soon as I wake up, like I'm just craving it and feel like I need it to get myself going in the morning. And so I would like to, again, break that habit, probably acknowledging I'll definitely go back to coffee afterwards, but just hopefully breaking that instinctual need that I feel I have for coffee in the morning, finding alternative ways to wake myself up so I don't feel myself drawn to coffee as strongly, don't feel like I need it in the morning to get myself going. So I will be going ahead and switching to tea for January 2023. I brought this in so that I could have it during the video, but I don't know if you can see the steam pouring off of this, but it is far too hot to drink right now, so I'll be saving that for a little bit later. But officially switching to tea for January 2023, and we'll see how I incorporate that later on. Maybe I don't need as much coffee. I think that's the hope, but overall the goal is just to break that, again, habitual draw to coffee every morning. So that's the sobriety piece. Moving to physical, again, if you followed along with Dry January challenges I've done in the past, this mirrors a lot of what I've done in the past, basically just identifying a set number of specific workouts I want to aim for through each week throughout the month of January. In the past, I've done a lot of, like I've had a large number of small workouts throughout the week. Like I'll do 4 workouts, 2 core, 1 upper body, 1 lower body, but I'm just doing like 10-minute workouts at a time. This year, my goal is going to be to do less workouts, but to make those workouts more substantial, especially the lower body workouts. That is going to be my focus for the upcoming races, to really build some muscle endurance in those core leg muscles that I'm going to need to carry me through these races. So my goal is really just to do 2. I'm going to set the minimum bar as 2 core workouts each week and 1 lower body workout, with the caveat that the lower body workout has to be at least 20 to 30 minutes of dedicated leg work. And same with the core, a minimum of like 15 to 20 minutes of core work as well. I just feel like I'll make a lot more progress that way. I'll get more benefits out of that without fatiguing my body as much. And maybe fatigue isn't the right word, but when you're doing a large number of smaller workouts, you just don't have as many days off, or don't feel like you're getting as many rest days. It feels like more of a burden. So I'm hoping if I can allot a larger chunk of time to a more substantial workout during the week, I'll still be able to fit in more of those recovery days and not feel like I'm taxing my body too much. So that's going to be the physical goal for this year's Dry January. Nutritional, also somewhat similar. I usually do some kind of like new healthy recipe goal where I explore new recipes to make throughout the month of January. My primary goal for this month is going to be avoiding ordering out or eating out for lunch at work throughout the entire month of January. So whether I'm working from home or working in the office, not allowed to go out for lunch. And to accomplish that, my goal is going to be to try to meal prep for this month of January. Again, so that's the finding new recipes piece. Explore new opportunities, new recipes for meal prepping that I will hopefully enjoy, and hopefully help build a new habit for this year where I can bring healthier lunches to work more often and order out less. Because I feel like that's where some of the biggest gaps in my diet is oftentimes when I'm at work, I just go for whatever's quick and easy and cheap, and not necessarily healthy in what I should be eating. So that's going to be the primary goal, is just cutting back on, or just eliminating those meals out during the day, during the week, and instead bringing my own lunch. In addition to that, a secondary goal is going to be to start tracking all of my meals using MyFitnessPal. That's just the one that I'm used to. Not necessarily for calorie counting. That's not my concern, although I do tend to, especially on big workout days, I tend to actually undereat. So that's something that I want to keep tabs on, is just making sure I'm getting enough nutrients. But the nutrients specifically is what I'm really focused on. The macros, I want to make sure I'm not only eating enough, but getting the food that I need to sustain the training. And that's something I know my diet's been an issue for a long time. I'm one of those runners that started running to probably help accommodate the poor diet, feeling like I can eat whatever I want because I'm running enough to burn off the calories, but really want to focus again on, I think protein is one of the key areas, especially if I'm going to be building in more strength work. Just want to make sure that I'm getting the right nutrients to fuel the machine that I'm creating, so that hopefully I can find more success later on. Also, hopefully less illness, building up a stronger immune system, less injury, building up more strength to help recover, etc. So I think there will be a lot of tangential benefits to improving my diet, and I'm hoping this will just help me bring more awareness to the things that I'm eating on a daily basis. And last but not least, the mental piece for me, again, very similar to things I've done in the past, but just wanting to incorporate either breathing exercises or meditation into my daily routine throughout the week. So not doing anything crazy for this month. Again, I feel like I've had a lot of stress worrying about this race that's coming up, and I've set really lofty goals or really lofty routines for myself that have fallen off. So I'm keeping it lighter this month just so it's a little bit easier on me. So just going to commit to 3 days a week doing at least 10 minutes of, again, either a guided meditation or guided breathing work. I especially like to do this in the evening. I think it really helps me just slow down my brain from the day. And I found, especially when I do like the guided sleep meditations, like 5 to 10 minutes before I go to sleep, my sleep is so much better. And I think it is because it's just really intentional work of slowing down the brain, slowing down those thoughts, so it's easier to just fall right asleep and then get deeper sleep because you don't have those racing thoughts that tend to keep us awake at night. So that's going to be the goal for the mental piece. Again, relatively easy, as I'm hoping most of these will be, because I don't want this to be too stressful at the start of the year, but do want it to have some impact to build some more successful, healthier habits throughout the new year, and again, breaking some old ones as well. So there you have it. Those are my goals for Dry January 2023. I really enjoy the Dry January challenges, particularly publishing them or talking about them on YouTube, because I like hearing about the goals that other folks have as well. So if you are joining the Dry January challenge in 2023, let me know in the comments below. If you want to follow along with this journey, I hope you'll go ahead and subscribe as well. But let me know what your overall goals are, if there are other things you're incorporating into the month aside from just the dry piece of Dry January, and hopefully we can help motivate each other to all stick to our goals. But looking forward to a fantastic month, and especially looking forward to basically the end of this month will be my ultra marathon. So hopefully committing to all of these goals will help me in my overall goal of showing up as happy and healthy as possible to the starting line of that race. But thank you as always for tuning in. I hope the goals that you've set for yourself for the new year are all going well so far. I really appreciate your support as I tackle my goals, and I look forward to seeing you around. Cheers.